Hey guys, I hope everybody's doing okay today. I am here waiting on my computer to catch up and on Zoom to start. Hello, hello, hello. Turn my phone down so we don't have to hear that. Let's see. All right, so now I can see chat. I've got my computer screen up. Let's look at that. All right, YouTube, come on and work with me. This is supposed to be public. YouTube loves to do things it's not supposed to, right? Oh, hey Sherlock, how are you? I can't see chat on the computer, so let's refresh this page and see what it's doing here. There we go. Now I can see the chat. I gotta make a live chat. Takes me a minute to get all caught up. All right, now I'm here. So up front, I'm going to tell you I can't move my right shoulder. Earlier today, I couldn't even sit up because of my right shoulder. Arthur is attacking me today. Let me go cry in a corner, right? I was telling somebody earlier, it is what it is. And I just found out that's a classically Gen X phrase. It's our answer to everything. Oh, it is what it is. So yeah, it is what it is. Wayne did my hair for me. Wasn't that nice of you? Oh, making frozen okra in the air fryer. I thought about canceling, but I feel bad every time I do because it's like, and I want to see how the frozen okra comes out because I have some, but we haven't made it yet. Probably because I haven't boiled the air fryer liner. Yeah, I'm sorry. It does stink. I'm not happy about it. But I can do that now and I couldn't earlier. So I can raise and lower this arm. Wayne helped me get dressed. He helped me do he did my hair. He pulled it up and put it in the clippy for me. So at least I've got that much done. I'm like, that's awesome. But I figured I'd come on and I'd talk about organization and a couple other things related to that. But before I start that, hi Tracy, how are you today? Of course, I have to do numbers. And as always, I have a frog. So let's start with the brat pack, my brat pack. Colleen, 1150 plus. I don't know what the plus is because, you know, YouTube hides that last digit. Sylvia is at 829. Hi, Nancy. I'm well medicated at this point. I haven't taken another muscle relaxer, but about the time I get done here, it'll be time for the next one. So as long as you guys don't mind looking at me in this situation, I'm like, I'll come on and I can't sew, but we'll talk about some of the other stuff that, you know, might be important or might be helpful. Dawn at My Quilt Projects, 9:30. She is going to be at 1,000 in about a minute, I think. Brandy is at 481 today. Wayne, 751. His Vikings are getting lots and lots of view time. So they're kind of funny, cute. So if you haven't checked out the Vikings, maybe go take a look. It might be enjoyable for you. Miss Ellen is at, I just wrote it down, 711. And Shannon at Slay Arts is at 455. Last time I looked, she was at 449. So she's gained 6-7 subscribers this week. Awesome, awesome, awesome. I'm thrilled for that. You guys may notice I have a different kind of bandage on my finger now. And I wanted to share this with you guys because I was asking last week. I have an allergy to the latex that is in this stuff, or the medical adhesive that they use in this. Yeah, they are cute. The Vikings are. So I was using these and I was folding it over the end of my finger and then trimming that little center piece out of there. And they were breaking my finger out. I was starting to already get the reaction and the rash that I get from medical adhesives. So I went to Walgreens yesterday. I went into a store on my own. I should have taken my walker or my cane in with me. But really, by the time I was done, I needed my wheelchair. I went in there and I thought, I'm coming for 2 items. I'm not going to get a cart, which is usually how I solve the RA mobility issue. So I walked through the store without any support, and I went back and I played on the Band-Aid aisle. And I bought this stuff because several of you said that you use this on your kids and it works really well. And it does, but it stings when I put it on my finger. So I was like, okay. So I saw these and they looked like they were the right shape for the end of my finger. And they are hydrocolloid gel bandages. They make a waterproof seal. They have a multi-day use. They seal out water, dirt, and other contaminants. And these feel almost like putting rubber on your fingers. Like, those little fingertip things that protect your fingers from the heat of the iron or the hot glue gun. That's what they feel like, but they are adhesive and they go over the end, and you like, just trying to get my hand up here so I can show you. You kind of like form them to your finger. This is actually pretty good. And it doesn't hurt, and it's got antiseptic already in it. It's sterile, and it can stay up to 7 days. And so far, I'm really liking it. It feels like silicone. Yes, Nancy, that's exactly it. So this works really well for the end of my finger. And I don't know how well you guys can see, but it's not coming up at all except right at the very tip. And I think that's because I didn't get it smoothed down completely before I decided I was done messing with it. So that's actually something I wanted to share. They have bigger ones that you can cut up, but I didn't want to play with that because I didn't know what it was going to work like. So that's actually pretty good. And for the end of my finger, it covers everything up. And if you see any shadow in there, that's the nail polish on my finger. It's not blood. When I changed my nail polish yesterday or the day before, whatever day I did it, I didn't want to put nail polish remover on that finger for some odd reason. I felt like it would sting. So my nail polish under there is still pink. But yeah, I wanted to share that with you guys because it seems like it's going to work really well. Yeah, I was really happy to find something that works too. And it says it's waterproof, so I could do dishes, but I'll just put gloves on if I do dishes. Wayne is really good about doing that kind of stuff for me. So yeah, I'm like, thank you so much. And then the other 2 things, you guys can thank seeing me today to this and this. This is an Aspercreme patch with lidocaine. And I can't put 2 patches on at once, but I alternate these. So I've had this on since about 4 o'clock this morning, and I'm going to take it off after the live and I'll switch to the other one because this has aspirin in it, I think. Yeah, it's got the same thing as aspirin, and the other one has lidocaine, so I don't want to do both. So, and seriously, this was impossible earlier today. Yeah, the Salon Pass, I don't know how you say them, but they are awesome. And they're smaller, and I can apply 2 of those. So I'm probably going to put one up here and then one down on the shoulder. I have a tank top underneath this, but this covers, like the other big one, covers all my shoulder right now. and is literally right on the muscle that hurts. I like the fact that those are self-adhesive and they don't break me out. So that's the medical part of that. As far as these things work for my RA pain, those are disabled hacks for those of you who are watching this later. And I wanted to share all that with you because I had to ask a few days ago, I think it was Monday, on Colleen's live, Salon Pause, okay, that I was asking about how to find a bandage that would fit over the end of my finger. So I figured I would share now that I've found a solution to it and go from there. And then we're going to talk a little bit today about organizing. And the reason we're going to talk about organizing is that I have suddenly, oh, well, definitely put that on, Colleen. You don't need to be hurting. Yesterday, I made up a little like a flow chart thing for myself. Well, I don't even know if flow chart's the right word. Schedule for myself for some stuff that I want to do over the course of the next 12 months. I've got a series of embroidery videos that I want to do, and I want to put up one a month and have it be as detailed as possible. Thank you, Tracy. I want it to be as detailed as possible so that you guys can recreate them. If tried to get everybody that she got numbers on. Oh, well, you need to include yourself. Yes, always. But anyway, so I made that schedule up, and then I thought, do I really want to do this on paper? And yes, I do, but I also want to put it in my Google Calendar. And I'm not going to give a Google Calendar tutorial today. What I'm going to show you is where I'm organizing some patterns and stuff. You guys don't care about the calendar. You might care about I don't think most of you are going to care about calendar, but I think most of you are going to care about easier ways to organize files and stuff. So that's what I'm going to show you. And this is the reason I organize files. Lisa Capon does all kinds of free patterns, and sometimes I'm ready to make the pattern right now, so I go ahead and print it. And this is her birdhouse trivet from last Friday. But sometimes, like she did an applique quilt last year that I want to do, but it hasn't made it to the schedule yet, if that makes sense. Looking to see what the mods were texting me. Sorry, had to check. But it hasn't made it to my schedule yet. So I keep those kind of things in a folder on my desktop. And let me share my screen with you guys. It's going to move me up here. And I wanted to show you, this is a folder that I have on my desktop. When it's not open, it sits over here. See how I've got that folder that says Office Desktop? Well, this one's named Quilt Patterns right there. And it has all kinds of patterns in it, lots and lots of them. Some of these are paid for patterns. Some of these are pictures that I have found and I want to recreate the picture at some point. And then like I have folders in here. Let me make this big so you guys can see it. I've got my chicken salad pictures that I did for my Cricut. I've got some stuff from the Hummingbird quilt, which was a Lisa Capon quilt, I believe. Her quilt as you go little blocks, and then Necessary Clutch Wallet is a paid pattern. And I just list them down here. It automatically puts them in alphabetical order. But for instance, if I wanted to, like I've got one ruler copied here. See if that'll open for us. There you go. So I took a picture of this ruler that I have that I bought from Amazon, and I put it in because I wanted to put it in my Cricut, and it's in there. So I'm going to use that picture in my Cricut to cut various sizes of tumbler templates. But even though I've saved it in my Cricut, I don't want to get rid of that picture. So I saved it over there. And then over here, this is SVG files, which Cricut's Cricut works with SVG files. They'll also work for Brother Scan and Cut, but they take a little more effort than they do like this. Yeah, my patterns folder looks like yours. Yeah, I think most of us have a lot of patterns. And then over here, I have SVG bundles that I've purchased from various places. A funny kitchen bundle of SVGs. And then down through here, this is some, I don't know, garbage that has been produced whenever I was pulling other things from the internet to make SVG files. But I put all of my SVG bundles in here, and these are all extracted. If they're not extracted yet, then they are in a different spot, and I just leave them there until I'm ready to extract them. And then I have embroidery stuff, and I have several files that I've created recently for my brother and for my flourish, so that I can use those to make the quilt that I'm sitting under today. And then when I download from Designs by Juju, these are where the extracted files go. And as you can see, I have tons of them. And I try to keep them under a name that Designs by Juju gives, unless for some reason, like this one here is numbers. So I would have to actually go into the file to see what it is. And these are coffee shop applique designs. I'm just popping it up so you can see it, and it always appears in Edge. But these are the designs that are in that one. No, I don't want to browse with Microsoft Edge. Go away. But these are the designs that are in that one. So really what I need to do is I need to go up one, and I need to rename this folder. And I'm going to show you how to rename it in case you're like me. And oh, and I do that anytime that I actually have to open a folder. And see how it renamed it there? So now it's named Coffee Shop Applique. So when I look in here, I'll be able to tell what it is instead of having to look at that number. And usually I go through and do this a couple times a month, but I've been slacking on it for the last year or so. But I have various folders. I don't want being go away. But I have all these various folders that I use, and then they just sit on my desktop. Normally they sit like over here on this left-hand side, but then I have my Brother Canvas workspace and my Cricut design space up here so that I can pull them up very quickly if I'm working on one or the other machine. And then over here in my apps, there's a couple of things. I have, gotta find it. This is my Simply Applique program, and I just leave it in my apps folder rather than making a shortcut on the desktop for it, because it needs that full click to be able to open this. It doesn't open well from a shortcut. So I just leave it in there, but I know where it's at and I can go get it very quickly. So if I'm wanting to work on something, I can go in, I can open the program I need, and then I have folders that have the files that I work with in there very easily. Hello, Sylvia. Yep. Yep, exactly, Tracy. And a lot of times I'll go Simply Applique takes forever to load anyway. I'm waiting for it to load so I can close it. But you guys will be seeing this. I have the video recorded for how to create a SVG file from an applique file using the Brother Scan and Cut. And I have most of the video done to do it from a Cricut. I just need to sit and edit that one so that I can put it up. I'm thinking I may put them up like the same day or something. Come on. I'm waiting for it to kill itself. It may never load. All right, we'll stop sharing now. You guys can't see it, but it's still trying to load. I'm like, whatever. Ah, yes, no wonder I don't have a lot of room for video files. Yes, because I have a ton of embroidery stuff. I actually have a 2 terabyte drive that I moved a lot of the embroidery files off to, but I didn't really want to get into that today because that's a whole different ball of wax for somebody to have to deal with. And not everybody's comfortable with that. I think I'm probably not a power user for tech, but I'm better than some, worse than others. And I figure if I show how I do it, waiting on that program to hurry up and close. But if I show how I do it, either I teach someone else how to do it, or I give somebody else the opportunity to tell me how to do it better, because I don't claim to be a tech guru at all. That's actually, I went to school to be a secretary back in the 80s. So, you know, 40, 50 years ago, something like that. And I took a lot of the stuff that I learned about how to file things in filing cabinets, etc. And I've taken a lot of that and used it in how I organize my computer. I saw that, Sylvia. Yeah, you never know what somebody will learn or what you'll learn from someone else. So that's why I decided I'd go ahead and come live today, even though I can't sew, and show you guys a little bit of the organizing stuff I use. I am working on Google Calendar, and I actually found a guy, Kevin. Let me see if I can type his name over here. I think that's his name. I watched him yesterday, and he had some really good tips for how to navigate Google Calendar and use it to your advantage. Now, he was talking about for workspace or small business stuff. As far as I'm concerned, my YouTube is a small business. So I took a lot of ideas away from him yesterday. Simply Applique is still trying to upload for me. Is I be stuck it? No, looks like I'm good. Anyway, I took away a lot of stuff from that, and it reminded me of some things I used to do when at my last job. I worked for a guy who did a lot of paperwork for people, and we used Google Calendar to keep track of when things had to be done, Google Tasks to keep track of what the tasks were that needed to be done, and they went back and forth between each other. And then there is a notes section in the address portion of Google where your contacts are, and you can literally take notes in that notes section and put in, you know, the last date you worked on something, what you did, what the next step is. Ours was for contacts. Like if we talked to them on the phone or got a letter from them, we went through and recorded all of that so that anybody in the office, if they picked up the phone for that customer, could go back and see what the history was on the account. I'm thinking I want to do something similar for the things that I'm pre-planning. And for me, I want to be able to store files somewhere on my computer, the video files, and then I want to be able to take the URL that I've created for that video and put it in there so that when it's time to upload it, my calendar will tell me to upload it. Because if you work, if you're a creator at all and you have videos up in your studio, anything you put up there, the stuff that's coming up, or that's, it's organized by the date it's supposed to go up. Now, if it's already public, it's not a big deal. But if you have a lot of stuff pre-scheduled, it gets really hairy on that first or second page of your videos when you're trying to put like shorts up. Like I said, I put up a ton of shorts a week, and I have to go in and I have to edit like tags and descriptions and things like that. And I don't want to have to wade through all of my scheduled uploads in order to get to the videos that I'm working on for, today, tomorrow, next week. Hey, Kelly, how are you today? Chocolate zucchini loaf. She always talks about the best food. That sounds good. Are you taking it camping with you? Because you're leaving, what, tomorrow? Sylvia, a koi carp. So you're doing like, is it koi, K-O-I, or C-O-Y? Are they, I know what a koi fish is, but I don't know what a koi carp is. Shoulder, had to adjust, sorry. I've been loving Sylvia's slow stitch series. She's drawing this stuff out and then stitching it in, and I'm just like, wow. I'm amazed because I don't have an artistic bone in my body, which is why I like to use the Scan and Cut and the Cricut. No, you're fine, Sylvia. I just didn't know if there was a different, like you guys call zucchini courgettes or something. I thought maybe it was different. Nice, Kelly. Nice, nice. So have you got everything ready to put stuff in the trailer? Or have you already put like clothes and all that in there and you're just now down to making treats for the weekend? Apparently, half of Wayne's coworkers are taking the weekend off. They're off on Monday, I think. And nobody's coming back to work till Tuesday. I'm like, boy, that's going to be a mess. Oh, I can drive a stick shift. I can drive anything. Well, I can't drive a semi, but only because I've never tried, I think. Oh, yeah, that's cool. That's why I do Google. And I don't know about you guys, but I'm doing the grocery order for this week, and it's like school supply deals. And I'm like, oh yes. So I spent like half an hour earlier looking at what the school supply deals are right now. And I don't know about you guys, but I like things like school boxes, the plastic pencil boxes, and they have erasers on sale. Erasers, pink erasers. Let me see if I can get one for you. Work great to clean your mats. Trying to get the package out of here. These things, they work great to clean your mats. They work great to clean your cutting mats and your wool mats. And they're useful, if you draw things with pencil. Of course, they're useful for that. But these are on sale for like 47 cents a piece. And I was sending something else to someone via Walmart when I saw that. And I just threw one in there. And then they delivered it separately from the other item. I was like, you people are crazy. They like a whole box, a whole separate shipping for this. I know that cost them more than the 47 cents that these erasers are running right now. But I went on this morning and I was looking, and they have chalk and glue sticks and bottles of glue. And I like my little purple glue sticks because I use them on the back of applique. And then when you iron them, they dry on there. But the purple goes away and then it washes out. And then I added a couple of the small bottles of glue because we all know I let my glue dry out. I'm terrible about it. But they had the small little bottles of glue like you buy for kindergartens. Yeah, I'm not happy with Walmart delivery for you. But you buy those little wee bottles. They're like 2 or 3 or 4 ounces of glue. I'm gonna get 2 of them. We've been talking about, me and Colleen have been talking about those little bottles of glue that have that pin like metal dispenser at the end. Well, I'm not going to pay $12 for a set of those little tiny bottles, but for 50 cents, I'll buy the little tiny bottles of glue and use those because they have a smaller tip and you can use them for applique and stuff, and it doesn't leave a great big glob anywhere. And then if I do leave the top open like a dummy, then I don't feel quite so bad. Actually, they have a Penn and something brand. I want to say Penn and Teller, and I know that's not right. But they have an off-brand even from Walmart that is less expensive than that, but I don't know anything about that glue, so I'm not going to recommend it, but I may try it. Yeah, Colleen got Oreos and OxyClean delivered in the same box yesterday, and the OxyClean had to come open, so it's all over her Oreos. And then she got to spend time talking to someone overseas who apparently doesn't speak English real well. Pen and Gear, thank you, Colleen. And I told her, I said, when I get people who don't speak English, I just say, stuff broke, refund, please. And, because it just, I'm not trying to be racist or anything, but it's frustrating when you talk to somebody and you know they're not understanding what you're saying. But speaking of not understanding what somebody's saying, my little trip into Walgreens yesterday, it went fairly quickly. I got my stuff. I got to the register. Well, I was behind 3 ladies who they did well. They picked middle of the week. They picked after lunch. So it should have been slow. But because of them, it wasn't slow. So there were 3 ladies. They were doing lots of coupon deals. And they were acting like they didn't understand English. So when the cashier told them, that when the cashier told them, oh, you don't have the right item, they were like shaking their head and acting like they didn't understand. And I'm standing there and I'm standing there and I'm standing there. Finally, I just said, listen, I know you understand this. Either buy the right item or go away, because by the time I'd stood there for a good 15 minutes, my legs were wobbly, my shoulders hurt. I was leaning on the counter going, please God, let this hurry up and finish. They did bring up a 3rd lady who opened a register and I got to check out, which was very nice of Walgreens. But yeah, I'm not a fan of people who play stupid. If you're going to play stupid, I don't want to play with you. I was just like, I know you speak English. And their kids were like back behind me. There were several other people in line. And I know their kids speak English. But the kids weren't speaking up and saying anything to the women. And I know the women understood what was being said to them. I worked renting out parts many years ago. And it was funny because we had like 5 ladies who would come in, and always the lady who needed the part would act like she didn't speak English and someone else would interpret for her. And after, 3 or 4 times of the same group of women coming in, I got used to it. And I'd finally just look at her and go, but last week you were translating for everybody. Today you can't speak English. So, and it's not just Spanish people that do that. It's other languages too. Ladies who speak Creole, French, Canadians sometimes. So playing stupid is how you get by. That's terrible. I wouldn't admit that. I've done it before. But for the most part, I try not to do that. I have learned though, I had to go to the eye doctor when I went to Walgreens yesterday. and he showed me some stuff about the eye test that they did on me that I didn't know, which is a shock because usually, I was around when they invented the machines. Anybody ever had to stick their head in that egg-shaped machine and click a button every time you see a white dot? I was 10 or 11 working with the doctor who invented that machine at Ohio State University at Columbus. And I used to call it the eggshell. It's got some long fancy name at this point. And they have another new machine um, that I'd never seen before. And it's got all these LED lights and a big star. And you sit there and you look into it and you keep your eye open. And it tests you for macular degeneration. And I don't have any macular degeneration. I can't even say that word today. And my field of vision is still really good. But he showed me what they're looking for because I have to get my eyes checked every 6 months. And it's called a bullseye maculation, MACULATION. Literally, the Plaquenil used to cause bullseyes in the back of people's eyes. They stopped using that machine here in the UK. Interesting. But that's what the Plaquenil does. And the eye doctor, when he came in and talked to me, he said he's been practicing like 40 or 50 years. And he's never seen a case of this bullseye maculation from Plaquenil. He said that the reason that they do the test is because when they first started using it, they were giving super high doses to people, and it was causing this problem regularly. But now that they've adjusted the dose way down, it doesn't cause that problem anymore. He said he's never seen a case of it. And Plaquenil's been around for 20 plus years, had been used for arthritis for that long or longer. So it was kind of cool that he showed that to me, though. I was like, yeah. And then he also showed me with the macular degeneration, I have none, 0, zip, nada. So I'm like, yes, that's awesome. Some of the hard words I can say, some of them I can't. So I don't know if that made sense to anybody, but basically my eyes are, my right eye's in good shape. I'm basically blind in my left eye. I can see like a little wedge of light and that's it. And so he's like, don't let anybody mess with your right eye. You need that good eye to see it. I'm like, yes, I know. Yeah. Sylvia, was there a reason they stopped using that machine? I almost asked him about your prism thing because I've never seen that. PRISM, not prison, folks. Nobody assumed that Sylvia is going to prison. What would she have done? Slow stitched somebody to a wall? And what's showing up on my screen looks like it is miles behind what I think I'm talking about. Why? Oh, that's why. Because my screen is miles behind what I'm talking about. There we go. Let's try that now and see if it works. I'm like 30 seconds behind myself on the screen. They use a different machine now rather than the field vision one. That's what that's called, the field vision machine. Yeah. I wonder. So that's really weird. I wonder if it's the other machine that she did the test on. If it like tests it faster, because I felt like I sat there and clicked that button for 20 minutes. Oh, okay. So there is a little bit of a delay between chat and the computer. Okay. I was wondering, I was like, what's going on here? What are we doing? What are we doing? Well, that's good. So the other thing that I was looking at Walmart is they have the 3-ring folders or the 3-prong folders on sale. I don't really like folders. I prefer binders, but the folders are like 10 cents a piece and binders are $4 and up. So I'm thinking about that. I have, if my shoulder ever decides that it wants to act right, I've got some things I want to move around in my room here. I think I've mentally got it all done. Now I've got to do it physically. And of course, I was going to do that today and woke up and the shoulder said, "Oh, no, you're not doing that today." So I just thought, well, let's go from here. And, I mean, I know that a lot of you have different organization ways that you use for things on your computer. And I've shown before that I use big 3-ring binders to store patterns and to store like the smaller rulers. My big ones are on the wall over there. You guys got any tips or questions on anything that might be useful for me? I'm sure Sylvia does. The Sylvia's stuff is actually, she keeps saying it's a mess, but it's just crowded. Oh, see, I don't like filing boxes. I prefer filing cabinets. And I like filing cabinets because you can paint them easily. And with the pointer, you had to sit. Yeah, I can't see anything with my left eye. I can see like the biggest letter, that great big H that they have on there that's like 10 inches tall. I can see that one. But with my glasses, I have 20/20 vision in my left eye. But you could decorate those filing boxes. And I saw something the other day, Colleen. I need to find it and send you a link for it. Um, it's a new kind of shoe rack. You know how they used to have those um, shoe racks that are like little plastic pockets that you put things down in? This one goes over a door and it has a series of shelves on it. So there's like a shelf that's wide enough to put your shoes on. And I looked at it and I thought, ooh, how many things could I use that for? Um, so I was looking at that. I need to go back and explore it. And when I do, I'll send you a link to it via email. You put contact paper on your boxes? Yeah, that works. I have a box down here that I bought, or I kept, when I bought the iris containers when they were on sale at Joann's years ago for like $3 a pop. I have 7 of them, and I got a box that was exactly the right size to put down there. Yeah, it's a shelf. I was looking at it going, but I covered that box in some fabric and I use it to hold my iris things. Sylvia, they're not stable when you put too much in them. Right there's the problem. But I have a cardboard box covered in fabric that I use for my iris. The stand, the little rolling stand that holds 6, is like $70, and they give you 6 more iris storage boxes. I'm like, that doesn't solve my problem at all. But I'm thinking I would like to have like a little shelf that, like, you put papers in, that those storage boxes would fit in. Yeah, my over the door one, I got one. I have one with the plastic pockets, and then I have one that's made to hold purses. And I have all my stabilizers. I have both of them on the back of my door here. The one that's made to hold purses works great for rolls of stabilizer. And I don't put the big roll that I've shown you guys, it looks like it's paper towels. I don't put that one in it, but all the other stuff that I don't use all the time. There you go, Sylvia. You're supposed to get rid of some stuff. And listen to me calling the pot calling the kettle black, because I get rid of nothing. Actually, I do sometimes. But I still cry over the whole garbage bag full of scraps I got rid of a few years back. And I had tried to work out of it. Finally, I said, I can't do any more out of this bag because I just wasn't getting anywhere. If you get deliveries from Amazon, you probably have cardboard boxes. Okay, guys, I think I have talked about everything I can think of to talk about today. And I know it's a little bit short, and Tracy would like me to stay on here for hours. But my next step is another muscle relaxer. And I'm going to go find some place to lean back and let this shoulder stop. It's not going to stop hurting anytime soon, but I'm going to go find a place to lean back and see if I can at least bring it back down to a dull roar. Oh, that makes sense, Coley. Yeah, the only bad thing about cardboard boxes for Florida is bugs. So you have to watch them. Your fancy iron box, yeah. So you have to watch for bugs down here if you use cardboard. It's one of the reasons I don't like hot glue for stuff so much. Um, I prefer to use either like a basting spray glue. Yeah. And I am going to go lay down. I appreciate you guys all showing up with me today. And I will see you guys on Monday. And probably, yeah, I'm hoping that it feels better tomorrow. It's already some better than it was this morning, Sylvia. Tracy understands for today. Thank you, honey. I appreciate it. And I am going to go try to lay down and see if I can get this to finish, to get back to normal. And then maybe tomorrow I can actually get some work done because I have lots and lots of things to do. All right. I love you guys. If somebody wants to criticize your stuff, tell them to go home. I ain't got time.